and Strong on Facebook. Welcome to the Droids We're Looking For podcast. And it starts now.
And here we go.
Welcome. Episode 21 is upon us. Now, it was a interesting podcast because we were kind of shorthanded. A couple people weren't able to make it. So, and also we had a lot of ground to cover. Ended up covering 3 episodes of The Walking Dead. So, I won't lie to you, there's a couple dry spots in it, but I mean, ultimately the point gets across. Well, what I will start off this podcast with is a sneak peek from episode 15 that was put on The Talking Dead. So, have a chimichanga and listen.
Been out here since before the sun came up.
You see the rules of the hunt? Don't mean jack out here. Now that rabbit you holding is claimed, boy. Claimed, whether you like it or not. So as you, I'd hand it over. Now, before you get to wishing you ain't ever even got out of bed this morning.
Ain't yours.
You know, I bet there's a bitch. Got you all messed up, All right? Got you walking around here like a dead man. Just lost yourself a piece of tail. Must have been a good one. Tell me something. Was it one of the little ones? 'Cause they don't last too long out here.
Can't. Those would be way too hot to walk around into.
It's not. I wouldn't even go. It's just. Right now I'm thinking of a lot of photo shoots just to build the page, my page, and not so much focusing on cons, just costumes, just to have some kind of resume going.
I don't think anyone should wear leather pants if it makes you feel better.
It's
I think leather pants or even pleather pants are always a bad idea.
I just think of Friends when Ross had them on and couldn't get them back on.
Oh yeah. Making a paste.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Good luck.
Yeah. Smack himself in the head.
Looks like Shermie wants us to start the podcast.
Or whatever.
Look at him. He's like, can we hurry up? I got some napping to do. Poor fucking dog. All he does is wake up and nap and feel like we're disturbing him sometimes. We'll just start then. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Todd.
Hi, Rainer. At least someone's participating. You don't like my mixed stroke face?
That was your usual face.
Oh, thanks.
Same.
So just this week on the podcast, we're going to talk about The Walking Dead. Mr. Baker can't make it. Rainer's making a mess on my couch. Sweet. And
Actually,
Mark,
it's on my coat, so.
you could have dribbled onto the couch. Okay? You're doing it right now.
Where?
It just came out again, no pun intended. But Mark was going to show, but he could not. So it's just going to be us 3 today, and we have a lot to talk about. We got to catch up on The Walking Dead.
Who's the third person?
Oh yeah, you. The one that was making fun of me a minute ago. She's been making fun of me because I had a tooth pulled, and she keeps calling me Cletus. I just want to put that out there and how emotionally damaging that is. I love you. Can we go pick up a banjo after the podcast? I want to serenade you. There's a dead squirrel outside. I got dessert for tonight. It was fun.
Daryl.
I'm not Daryl, that's right. I've been dealing with a lot
I
of...
dreamt about Norman Reedus again last night. We were dating again.
I'm being compared. Rick's hearing this. He understands what I'm going through. But so we're going to talk about... We got 3 episodes to talk about. 2 really boring episodes. And then, for the love of God, they must have known and made the next episode so good that it's everything that everyone's talking about right now. And also generated the most obnoxious internet memes ever created. They're out of control.
They're everywhere.
I'm happy I bought you carrots in that card instead of flowers, because then you would have took me outside. Like, look at the flowers, Todd. I wasn't so scared.
I wouldn't even bother with the flowers, but...
Really? Oh, thanks. So let's talk about episode 12 still. I would say from just what I read, the most hated episode, short of, season 2. Basically, the episode focuses on Beth wanting to be a teenager and Daryl coping with everything that happened. Now, Beth wants to be that rebellious teenager, wants to know what it's like to have a drink, which leads to peach schnapps. I have to put that in there. Peach schnapps is just a horrible drink.
My fuzzy navels were my go-to drink when I was 19, and
Yeah.
then I quickly got sick of it.
I don't even. What was my first drink? It was vodka. It was Absolute vodka. Was my first drink.
Oh.
Okay, classy. What you
Same
have?
thing you barfed up at a Timmy's not too long ago.
Oh! After how much I had to drink? That wasn't Absolute vodka. That was pure Polish vodka that was smuggled back into the country. That aged over 10 years in the cabinet. What was your first drink, Harn? Do you remember?
Goldschlager.
Oh!
That was a bad
That is a
start.
horrible way to
Yeah.
start!
I thought peach schnapps was bad, but Goldschlager.
Ah.
Oh my god.
Peach schnapps is just horrible.
Yeah, I haven't touched it since I was 19, so that's almost 12 years ago.
There's like certain.
I don't drink Goldschlager at all.
You gotta
Actually,
ask
I
yourself
don't
the
drink it all
question.
anymore. But
There's always one thing your body always disagrees with. There's always that one alcohol type. Mine is Fireball. I got drunk off Fireball, and I was yelling at the cops that I was Batman.
Why am I not surprised about any of this?
Everyone's got the kryptonite drink. What's your kryptonite drink, Tarn? There's always got that one that always puts you over that you shouldn't drink. So the liquor cabinet is what you're trying to say.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe probably vodka or rum.
Vodka.
I never drink.
She has
it.
great class in vodka, and I actually mean that. Grey Goose is the only thing she's ever drank that I've seen, anyways.
No, I drink Smirnoff.
Oh no, what was that? Was it? Yeah. The Smirnoff is not just a vodka anymore. It's like a spirit now because you got all those different flavors. What about you, Rainer?
Yeah, either vodka or rum. I get rum is my angry drink. Everyone says that theirs is whiskey, but no,
I can't even smell rum. Like it makes me sick to my stomach.
No, I just get angry. But vodka, the last 2 times I've had vodka, I went out with my friend Kelly, and I don't know if she listens to this, but if she does, she's probably laughing right now because we went out a couple years ago, and she just didn't want to stop, and so I didn't stop, and I have not drank vodka since.
So I don't think it's really Beth's fault that peach schnapps was I think that was just the only drink left. That's pretty bad that in the zombie apocalypse everyone raids the liquor cabinet and then you just got a full bottle of peach schnapps. Like, fuck. Bang. Might as well just do it at that point. Does this episode, because there was the whole, what?
Would Bob drink it?
Bob likes Jameson. He has class.
Okay, yeah, he would.
Jameson is a fantastic Irish whiskey.
He would drink NyQuil over.
Oh,
I think.
God. His teeth are green. Merry fucking Christmas? No. Now, does this feel like another episode to pop Beth's singing career? Because they had the whole piano scene and she's serenading Daryl in a coffin. I find that they're really doing that more and more. And it started, was it the end of season 2? She had the whole singing.
Season 3.
Was it
No, season 2. Yeah, it was before the.
Because I'm on her Twitter feed and like every single day she pops out a new song and it's like, and this was on episode blah 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 of The Walking Dead. And you're like, oh, dude, come on.
Well, AMC doesn't seem to have a problem with it, so I don't.
No, they.
But AMC doesn't have a problem killing little girls either. But we'll get there too.
I think, fine, if music is your forte, that's fine. But I don't think she can act. She has not convinced me yet of anything, of any emotion that she's shown. I'm just like, really, that good, nice try, Beth, nice try, but no, you can't fake cry. You can't fake it.
Well, they paired up the two people who can't cry well together in the same storyline. Like, I love Norman Reedus as an actor, but crying is not his forte.
Except when he drops the Snicker.
Oh, why would you bring up the Snickers like that? But eventually moonshine does become the drink of choice. However, I felt like the whole scene when they were playing the little game together, I felt like there was tension being set up there. Where do you think they were going with that?
There would be no romantic arc.
Oh God, no. I think it's more.
I'm hoping not, but just there was the one scene where they were just staring at each other. You're like, oh no, they're gonna bang.
No. I don't even think it's any romantic tension. I just think it's Daryl has no idea what to say to this girl. I think it's more of an awkward silence and what do I talk about anything to this girl? She doesn't know. You know, she wants to drink peach enough for fuck's sake. So I mean, you know, I think it's just he doesn't know what to say to her. He doesn't know how to act. It's awkward and not so much any sexual tension in any way. Because quite frankly, zombie apocalypse or not, he's how old does he say he's in the show? Like he's got to be in his 30s.
Yeah.
And she's like 17.
Yeah.
I think she's more than 17.
No, in the show she's 17.
She's still 17.
Real
Yeah,
life
the
she's
actress.
28.
Jesus
She's
Christ,
I
it's
look
like
young.
she's like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers all over again.
Yeah.
30-year-old people playing 16-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that threw me for a loop. I had no idea there. But also this episode, the phrase "don't judge a book by its cover" is very coined, and I mean, she automatically assumed that at some point that Daryl has served time in jail.
And the way she asked it is she tried to be coy about it, but
Yeah, there's just no way
she
out of
really
that.
wanted to know. I'm like, and I honestly think his reaction was totally justified. I would have been like, "Is that what you think I am too, bitch? Like, you're on your own. Get the fuck out. Like,
Kill your own snakes.
yeah, I fed you some fucking snakes, and not in a sexual way."
Oh! Didn't feed her the anaconda is what you're trying to say. Dirty, dirty donk. Dirty donk. No, I think how the episode ended was good. It just felt like...
She's gone. Yes.
Well, yeah. I think that... one thing I'll say that I loved about Zombieland is the kill of the week. And Daryl clearly stole the kill of the week with the golf club. That was awesome. When he just teed off that fucking zombie's head, it was quite beautiful.
You're cross-referencing two different episodes.
Am I?
Yeah. Because the burning down the house was one episode, and then
And the golf club was the next.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I got that mixed up then. But that would still be kind of cool, but... Now... Oh, what the hell was that?
Shermie?
Shermie?
You want to be part of the podcast?
Was that a
That's
fart?
what Shermie. Yeah.
You okay, bud? Well, we're just checking on our dog here. I don't know what exhaled from him. It was definitely picked up on the podcast though, but it was demonic to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe he's possessed.
So
Are you exercising your demons?
Now the timeline is very warped in this season right now, and at the end of this episode, we have what? Beth gets kidnapped, which leaves who is it? Which I have my opinions of who it could be. But then Daryl runs into a specific group of people that Rick ran into. What do you think is happening with that? Do you think those people are from Terminus, or are they? Because the rumors are is that they're from Terminus, or they're cannibals, or Beth is just being kidnapped by Carol because she tried invading in on her property. That's the joke going right now.
Because it seems totally logical that Beth is nowhere to be found.
It just seemed
with Carol and Tyrese.
I don't know. I just think the whole funeral home seemed too good to be true. It was way too clean, stocked with food.
Dude,
I think what
said
pissed me
the
off
same
about that.
thing.
I think it was trap.
Yeah.
But what really pissed me off the most is that Daryl is bang on all the time, and then that one moment where you can clearly see through the door, it is not the dog, it is a zombie. It's like, oh, feel the mutts and fucking ears. Ah! You're like, what are you doing, dude? It was clearly evident. That to me was sloppy.
Yeah.
I don't think Daryl Dixon would have done that. I don't think he would have ever been that sloppy.
I do think that I agree with Tara though that the whole thing was a trap. I see they're like, oh, someone must be hiding out here. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Someone's not hiding out there. Someone is waiting for someone else to hide out there and feed
Yeah.
on their food and then kidnap. Unless they've been being watched, but even that's hard to think because unless they got tracked.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that leads back to the question, which I hope that in the next two episodes the storyline gets lined up, because I mean the timeline of things are quite all over the map. I have a concept idea of where they are, but right now where they left off in the funeral home, I don't know where the rest of the group is.
I would figure that it's the same timeline, just separate. Who's doing what at that same time?
Yeah.
Well, the only thing that really bothers me is that Rick just had that issue with those guys before, and then suddenly Daryl walks into him a day later. You don't know where they are I just
But
the
they're
whole.
not that far from each other, really.
Well, I don't know about that. I thought they said Daryl and Beth were quite ahead from everyone else.
Yeah, but they never even hit the railroad tracks.
No. True, I guess I forgot about that. So then we'll just move into episode 13, I guess, just to move along.
Old Yeller episode.
Old Yeller. No, it was a good episode. We got to learn about Bob. Bob the medic. Bob the deserter. Bob the drunk. Bob. I don't know. Just his whole name placement still bothers me.
I couldn't tell. Surprise.
They couldn't think of another name. Like, I don't know. Bob is just such a generic name, like Smith. Like
Bob Smith.
we need another generic black guy. You're Bob. That's what we're gonna name you. Well, but in this episode, we got to see.
There's Sasha, Tyrese, and Bob.
It doesn't flow. I'm not saying he should be named like Shanishqua or something like that, but I'm saying that
Bob.
or just. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of another name we could have named him.
Well,
What's a good name for a paramedic?
I find it's funny the fact that
Robert?
he was so
Roberto.
so he was
Bob is short for Robert. It was a joke.
Roberto.
It was a joke.
Roberto.
Pablo. Bobto.
Bubblegum shrimp.
Bob Dylan.
Yes, Bubba.
Just name him Bob Dylan.
Anyway, I think the fact that he goes through such lengths to survive, and yet he seems like he doesn't give a crap.
I think that he was kind of, on one hand, just coming to terms. I wouldn't say he was at the level that the governor was at after Woodbury, but it was just kind of like, who cares? I get eaten, I don't. Now,
The makeshift cage, though, is pretty good
yeah.
for being smashed on NyQuil.
Hey man, whatever you have to do, get
Yeah,
through
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
it. I'm not like it's kind of good. You got a quick origin story on Bob's character, but now does that make you think he's going to stay a lot longer? That he might become a pivotal character?
The fact that he's got some kind of thing going on with Sasha, probably. But that to me just also means that it's probably like, well, he's gonna die next.
Yeah, because his whole thing was that he was cursed, because every group he runs with, they all end up dying.
Yeah.
But compared to your first impressions of Bob when he first came into now, has your opinion about him changed at all?
You could tell he's able to function without alcohol. Like his withdrawal's over, and
Yeah.
he's actually been helpful to the group medically. He knows what to do.
Yeah, he doesn't feel as much as a liability anymore as where he was before. You get to see more of the human side of Bob, and that's kind of a bad feeling, honestly, if you think about it, to be feeling that you're a curse to every group that you meet. But after an intense zombie killing session in the fog, which was pretty badass, by the way, I thought that was pretty cool. And they had a scare that Bob was bit.
Yeah.
Bob was bit. I just liked how the sound of that.
Bob was bit.
Bob was bit. But he wasn't bit somehow. The group is divided on which way they want to go. Maggie wants to find Glenn. Obviously, Sasha wants to go the different way. But eventually, Maggie just ups and leaves because of the conflict. Because Sasha, I don't know. It's like she's just come to terms about Tyrese. But
No, Maggie just didn't want any consequences to befall her friends, so she went off on her own.
But Sasha was always strong against the fact of going to find Glenn. That was the whole problem. Is that she basically said, Glenn's probably dead anyways. And really, in Glenn's defense, he should have been dead, especially where he woke up. That was just horrible. Was Sasha and Bob in the wrong for following Maggie, or was this probably a good character thing?
I think it was a good idea, because I don't think anyone can make it on their own anymore there.
Not just that, but
Not
I
even
think
Daryl?
She's too hot-headed right now. She's not seeing clearly. She needs Bob and Sasha. She needs that around. I mean, how many of us have done things just because we were pissed off about it, or we were just like, we're unreasonable, you know?
Yeah.
You can't reason with us at all. It's, I'm gonna do this and I don't care who gets in my way. That's Maggie's point of view, and you need those people to balance you out.
I guess, but if it wasn't for them as well, Maggie could have been Walker meat as well. very interesting use of a sign, I'll have to admit. With that, Maggie's definitely a liability right now. And I begin to wonder if they are going to reunite her with Glenn for the end of the season.
Probably not this season. It might be, I would say, beginning of season 5. I think they're building up too many storylines right now, like Beth being kidnapped, the Sergeant Abraham, and whoever the hell Daryl's running with now that he doesn't want to be running with.
Didn't I say in the preview everyone's going to meet up by the end of the season?
Was it tonight the last episode?
Tonight's
more.
episode
There's
15.
Two more?
Yeah.
So tonight's second last.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the what was the promo? Hold on. There was a promo poster on that they were pushing for, but I don't think it was everyone met up. It was who would get there
Or maybe,
first.
yeah, maybe.
I think that's what it was. Who would get there first? I think that Rick and Carl is going to make it there first. I like Carl. I love his name. It's great. No,
Kyle Winslow.
What?
Family Matters.
Oh, TGIF, motherfucker.
Oh, the poster is who will arrive.
Oh.
Now, it's safe to say that Terminus is either one of a few things. It's either a massive trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. It's either where the cannibals have been living, and goes back to the trap, or it's actually a safe refuge point, which I originally believed it was from the get-go.
Sometimes for me, it's in a world like that, it is a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's not, maybe. It's, maybe go anyway, but be prepared for a worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Like that would be my.
Especially after Woodbury, all bets are off.
Yeah, I would have absolutely no qualms with showing up with my gun pointed. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
But I would try to go.
But you gotta start asking yourself, where would you be safe in this type of world? Because, I mean, the safest place they've ever came across was the jail, was the prison.
If it wasn't for the fact that the governor, wanted the prison, they were safe.
Yeah.
For now, though, but then they kept having the issues of the herds.
Yeah.
Because Lizzie kept feeding them rats.
Well, and also with the herd, all it takes is one gunshot and you have 500 zombies.
That's why on a daily basis they would go out and stab them all in the head.
Oh, that would have been so tedious.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
what
stab
you
all
gotta
the
do.
heads, grab the bodies, burn the bodies so there's no disease. It's just way too much work.
Yeah, but it's worth it. To
It's
be in a
worth
prison
it.
like that. I'm sorry, but they had a food supply for a long time, like 2 years at least. Food supply of rations.
They had pigs.
Why
Pigs.
did you bring up the pig?
They had pigs. They had bacon.
Oh, I hated that part.
I cried. I
found this
cried.
meme of Rick, the phone ringing, because the infamous joke with Rick's character is that in the comic book he took the phone that he found in the prison around everywhere he went.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was gone. So there's a scene, the phone rings again, he goes, Lori, and it's the pigs. Like, do you remember us? He killed the pigs.
The little
Hey,
piglets.
You can't be mad at him because it actually worked. Like, what was your alternatives?
Do you think it was the swine flu?
No, I don't think it was a swine flu. But in a world of no antibiotics, no type of medical supplies whatsoever, the common cold can kill you.
Yeah.
Or even the flu, if not treated properly. They probably don't have the correct minerals. They don't have, they have vegetables, sure, but they're not taking maybe enough protein in because all they had was what? Pigs? It's not a lot of protein. Best protein you're going to get from chicken, fish.
Well, Daryl was hunting deer.
Daryl was hunting deer / squirrels. I wonder, did they think they made like a post-apocalyptic squirrel cake? That'd be kind of cool. Daryl
I
would
heard
do.
it was kind of nuts.
Oh God, I'm dating that.
It is difficult to maintain some kind of proper diet. I mean, and that's why they say people with food intolerances, like I would be so screwed. I have no problem admitting that having celiacs is like, we found all this bread. Well, fuck. Like, did you find any rice?
Die from it. You just will never be mobile.
And that would be a problem because, well,
Just find a really good porta potty, fortify it. You're good.
and that's why I would stay in a prison. That's why I would stay in a prison. I would try and, like thorough pen. Can you imagine if there's
Thoropen's not fortified enough. No way.
Still be good though.
Still cage. And really, they don't have individual cells. They have it's an open area. It's an open. Basically, they have all of them sleep in the same room.
Yeah, I like my privacy.
Yeah.
Give me my space. Get out of my bubble.
No, that's how I know. But I think the prison could have been perfect if they were smart about it. If they were always low key about everything, and as well,
It was not. Unfortunately,
It was the
cross
governor
paths
that-
with the wrong man.
Yeah, it was the
But
governor
at the same
that
time, though,
called
you
it
guys
back.
said we should just kill the governor with your had your chance. They had their chance to kill the governor. Michonne didn't take it.
Several.
They had several chances to put that guy down. They're like, no, we're going to do the greater good. You can't do the greater good in this type of world. You have to make the choice. Either if that guy's stepping on you, you got to put him down. Because if you don't, he's going to get you in your fucking sleep.
Yeah, but it's easier said than done.
In that world, I will have no problem doing it.
Well, to me, it goes back to The Last of Us. The amount of people that Joel kills.
Yeah.
You know, like when he goes to the power plant with his brother Tommy, and he says, "You still know how to kill, right?" And it's like, wow, you have to live in that kind of world. It's unfortunate, but the laws don't seem to apply anymore because he has no problem doing it. Eye for an eye.
It's not a matter you're killing someone for sport or you're killing someone to feed your sociopath needs. It's I have to kill you because I need to survive.
Yeah, you are an evil person.
And I can understand if I just walk up, put a bullet in someone's head and say I'm taking your supplies, that's one thing. But if I try that's called looting and raping and pillaging. But it's another thing if I'm trying to work out something with him and he basically was a complete dinkus about it. I'm like, all right, well, go to sleep. You're going to wake up with concrete shoes at the bottom of the canal. Cheers. Hey, one size fits all.
Go, buy one, get one free.
But, no, but it's true. Like, the prison could have been perfect. If they put down the governor, they probably would still be in the prison at this point. Even in the comic book, it was foolishness that got them to lose the prison. Even with that as well. There was too many close calls. They're like, oh, we're going to open the door. Oh, walkers! Like, what do you think they're not going to be there?
Yeah.
You think they have something better to do? You think a walker's going to be like, oh, shit, Game of Thrones is on. Can you watch my part of the fence for me while I go finish Game of Thrones? Like, what the fuck? But now, with all the characters divided, now they're really finding out. Some of them, actually, are finding out what it's like to be on their own. Like, Beth really never felt like what it's like to be on her own fully before. She was always in the group or she was at the Herschel farm. So
everyone's got a job to do. Now she doesn't know how to do anything.
Yeah, she doesn't even have a job. Does she know how to do anything?
No. She knows how to sing and play piano.
She knows how to what?
Babysit Judith.
She sings to the fucking baby. That's all she does. I'm going to sing a song today. It's like she's the Elvis Presley of The Walking Dead. She can't act. All she can do is sing. So it's like, hey, Elvis, can you do me a song about lemonade? And he sings about lemonade in a fucking movie. It doesn't even make sense.
Oh, Eddie Murphy.
It's true that, I'm right. I
know,
watched
I'm
every
not
single
denying it.
Elvis Presley movie. You got to fight tonight. He sings a song about boxing. Like, but you have to act. That's the whole part of it.
We good? Good.
She needs to die. That's all I'm going to say. If her character, they're not going to kill her character. They're going to kill someone important like Bob. Like, in the hierarchy...
Just kidding.
No, but in the hierarchy of things, Bob has actually got purpose.
He does now.
He's a medic.
Yeah, he's a medic. He was the one that he knew how to save everyone in the prison by what medicine to get. If it wasn't for Bob, they would all be dead. That's it. And Beth, she burps Judith. That's good for you. Good for you, chick.
Whereas Carol knows how to hunt, kill, survive, burp Judith. Carol's like the ultimate soldier here.
Yeah, she went.
And
from
she's
being,
like, wow, you killed those two people that had the disease that would have killed us all, so hit the road. Get going. Could have figured out a way to talk to Tyrese down, because, which we're going to get to, is that he took it okay.
Yeah, but that took a long time.
Yeah, but that makes me really question how admirable he is. Like, because he understands. It wasn't like, bitch. He was just like, well, they were infected. They were fucked.
And whereas Rick was, we might have saved them in time, and Carol was, we can't risk that.
I think Rick likes to provide a lot of false hope to people when he doesn't even know if it's attainable or not. He needs to worry about himself since, he got pretty fucking mangled. But, so episode 14, which is the talked about episode, this is praised as the best episode of the season. What are your thoughts?
Old Yeller. That's all I thought was, look at the flowers. It was just, okay.
Honestly, at the end, when it happened, I was like, bad dog. That's all that came to mind. Because really, if you think about it, Lizzie was a rabid dog.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. But do you think this was the best episode of the season?
No, I think the mid-season finale was good.
That was pretty intense.
I think both, like, if I'm going to have to choose, yeah, the mid-season finale was just a lot more intense, but that was more psychological than suspenseful. It was, holy crap, this is happening.
Yeah.
She's putting down a child who's showing, as we've discussed before, sociopathic tendencies that they don't get better as you get older.
No, they really
we watched
don't.
Dexter. We know.
Now, I don't think it was. I think maybe as it stands in the second half it is. I think a lot of people are saying that right now because of the dry, long Lord of the Rings episodes we've been having, so to say, of the walking, fuck's sake.
The walking rings.
The walking rings. Mm-hmm. And now you're finally like, oh, finally! But you can't say everyone's like, oh, there was no zombie killing. No, there was plenty of zombie killing in those episodes. It was just really talking to the storylines, talking to the psychological part of how people are reacting to how everything happened. But in this episode, we finally get resolution on Lizzie's character. Called it. That's right. Arms in the air of joy.
I think we all did.
I think we did.
Is there
anyone that does not agree to the comment? It pushes more. It begins to push more of a realistic balance on how a child can handle being in a zombie-infested world. Were you surprised that was Lizzie feeding rats?
I called it.
I said it too.
Who's the one that someone disagreed with me? I think it was
probably Baker.
I think it was Baker.
I'm not saying that's not true, but Andrew's always the odd one out.
Either
always.
Baker or Brian. Someone disagreed with me because she wasn't.
You know what?
Enough.
It could have even been Mark. Mark likes to do it too.
No,
but he likes to be on the odd man out just to be a dick.
No, this was before
Mark. He knows I'm right. He's not saying, "Oh yeah, probably." No, it's true. It's like,
But he wasn't here during that podcast, though. It was either Brian or it was one of them. Someone disagreed with me because they said she wasn't tall enough. Do you see?
Wasn't tall enough?
That's what someone said. I remember that. I'm gonna listen to every fucking podcast.
Wow, about time.
Whatever. I'm here. Why do I have to listen?
You gotta learn to become vain. And just listen to your voice. I do.
I hate it. I hate my voice.
Although last week the Easter egg was funny.
Oh yeah, the Easter egg was pretty funny. What do you think, Tara? Were you surprised about Lizzie?
No.
No? Okay, Tyrese continues to show appreciation and trust to Carol. Now do you think Carol is second guessing her actions last season, especially with the whole scene, like, when he's telling her everything and she's looking away and you can tell that she's being ripped apart. The cold Carol, I guess.
I don't think it was that. I think it was just the fact that she hadn't told him yet.
She feels guilty about it. It's not like she did it.
I think it was probably the first time she felt guilty about it, though.
Yeah.
No, before she left with Rick, she was justified. Like, she stood by and saying, I did what needed to be done.
Yeah, she didn't do it to kill someone.
No.
Like, oh, this is going to be so fun.
No.
It was, this has to be put down. Like, they have to be put down. It's going to get worse.
Yeah.
She had to make a decision.
It just looked like when she was looking away from Tyrese, like she was like seconds away from bawling. Just because.
Yeah, because she felt horrible.
Good! Just do it again! Because I was totally agreeing and said she was justified for what she did. But moving on. It is clearly evident that Lizzie has lost any sense of reality as she's playing with a walker and feeding another on the railroad tracks. Clear evidence to anyone that the child was a liability. We could have painted the sign at this point that there was something horribly wrong. Should something been done by Carol and Tyrese then? Especially after she was playing with the walker, like, oh.
I think that after the walker attack, I thought, because she realized, oh my god, we have to kill them.
Yeah.
Because they're going to kill us.
Yeah.
I think that was, okay, maybe she understands now.
Yeah.
And,
because then she said to Carol that night, I understand what I have to do now.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden she kills her sister. Like,
yeah.
That to me was like, come on. Like, what is wrong with this kid?
It's not even as much as the kid. It makes me question Tyrese and Carol's train of thought. Like, these are clearly, like, you also have the train, like even the railroad track scenario as well. It's like, oh, yeah, Tyrese is going to put it down, and she's like, no, like, put it down. It's a liability. It sounds horrible, but I mean...
Yeah, but she's still just a kid, and I'm probably just thinking that she just doesn't understand.
But it's kind of weird how her character's gone from super cold to like, I want to hug a walker.
And yeah, like she killed the one girl. That to me was
She killed those 2 people in the jail like nothing.
Yeah.
Because she's like, this is what Carol would want. And the whole first half of the season's like, this is what Carol would want. And all of a sudden it's like, I want to hug a walker.
Yeah,
it's like cuddling a cosplayer. No, Anyway.
Oh God.
I love the curveballs.
Yeah, I think that, again, after the attack, they probably thought she gets it now. They are not playthings. They are not her friends. And then somehow she's still, like, killing her sister. Like I said, I was eating dinner because I had PVR'd it. So I'm eating dinner and, I saw all the posts on the internet like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And I'm, it's like 40 minutes into the show and I don't know what the hell's, I'm like, what is everyone talking about? So I'm eating and then she come, and they walk back and her hands are bloody and I felt nauseated. I didn't throw up, but I was like, oh my God.
Everyone was.
We
actually had people over watching that episode, and I can tell you everyone's reaction was the same.
Just turned white.
Everyone was like, oh my God. But I guess that then they pieced it together. Like they can't be stupid, I guess I would say at this point. With all the signs they've seen coming from Lizzie, and they still left her alone with her own sister. Even after that, it makes me really think to themselves, do you not care? Like,
Honey, it's not that.
Then what is it? Because I knew if there was a rabid dog in my encampment, it would not...
Again, this happened after the attack.
Yeah.
They were convinced that she understood.
I still would put that dog on a leash.
Yeah, if they could have taken...
If your dog bit somebody... And you can tell that your dog is sincerely upset. Like, I know your dog can act very upset that they knew what they did was wrong. Would you still let that dog run leashless through the entire community? No. You would leave it on a leash until you were fully 120% convinced that that dog is not going to bite again. Because the next time that dog bites, the dog's getting put down. Right?
And how does that refer to Lizzie?
She's a rabid dog. She's clearly not in her right state of mind. She has proven that she's not in her right state of mind. And they left her alone. And look what happened.
Yeah, she thought that walkers were her friends. Not really a far stretch for a child's imagination.
Okay.
I don't know. Mika she knew. She couldn't kill, but she knew.
No, I know, but it just seemed ever since Lizzie's dad died, she had a hard time. Like, that's when everything shifted for her.
Well, a traumatic event on top of being in a post-apocalyptic world. Yeah, that might, someone who's still developing psychologically, I could see that being a problem. And then
yet they still come back to the camp. And this is the part that really killed me the most. They come back to the camp. They find Mika dead. Lizzie sitting there going,
she'll come back.
She'll come back. And their reaction is, let's send her to her room.
They're in shock.
Yeah, well, they had to think about it. I honestly,
what the hell do you
I sat there
about?
and I thought, what's gonna happen? Like, I just sat there and in the same state of mind that that the characters were in. I was like, what the fuck would I do?
Yeah.
You have to think it through, and then ultimately, I agree with Carol's decision. Look at the flowers, Lizzie. Bang.
No, I'm gonna say the decision not correctly. The amount of time it took for the decision to occur. Like,
because she's a child.
However, you still can't. It's a post-apocalyptic world. You need to be smart about these type of things. This is what gets you killed.
I understand, and I'm not disagreeing with you, Todd. I'm just saying it's because she's a child. They think that kids could change. Adults we're more difficult to change and adapt into different things, but children aren't, and that's what they were hoping for, and that's why they had to take such a long time about it. It's not like they left her alone with Judith. Like, they locked her in her room.
Yeah.
Like, that, it's not like...
I think that was ultimately one of the standing points was, well, we can't leave her alone with Judith because Judith would be dead.
Yeah, she was going to kill Judith.
But still, I don't know. I think the point I'm trying to make is that whether they're 10 years old, 50 years old, or 100 years old, if they are a liability in this type of world, they shouldn't exist. Period.
And I'm not disagreeing
especially with the
you.
survival of the fittest scenario.
But it
Because-
doesn't make it easier to kill a child, in whether you're surrounded by zombies or not.
I don't know. I just don't understand Carol as being the cold character that she is that has no problem off someone, and then it had to be a fucking deliberation over dinner for her to figure it out or not. Like, I don't
I
know.
don't think she's a cold character. She didn't want to kill Karen and David.
She felt like it was the right thing to do to prevent an outbreak.
Well, it didn't fix it.
No, but how was she gonna know that?
But now we're damned by the iconic stare at the flowers memes, and I guess did Lizzie understand what was happening?
No. I don't think she was.
I don't think she did either. I think that she was more concerned about being,
letting Carol down.
yeah, Carol being disappointed in her than anything else, I guess I would say.
Yeah, the fact that she wasn't upset about the fact that she killed her sister, but more upset that Carol was mad at her. She clearly didn't understand what she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and again, she was probably thinking, I'm a kid, nothing's gonna happen to me kind of thing. And yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, clearly something bad had to happen because every single time they find a safe haven, it happens to get overrun by walkers, which even happened in this one as well. But The Walking Dead seems to have this hate on for little girls. They hate little girls. This is number 5 that's perished. Now, do you think AMC is pushing for realism? Do you think they're pushing the envelope a little bit too much? Because, I mean, I can't think of any show in any memory ever, including movies, that multiple little children were killed.
Schindler's List.
Too real.
I'm just saying that
Too
is
real.
The Holocaust.
Too real, man. Too real. Take it back. Take
How?
it back.
It was a
Take
movie
it
about
back,
the
Rainer.
Holocaust.
Yeah.
With the
Holocaust.
little girl with the balloon? That was horribly sad.
It wasn't the Holocaust. It was just a vacation at Disneyland that got greatly detoured.
In Germany.
In Germany. It can happen.
In Poland.
But I think they're really pushing the envelope. I'm surprised there has not been well, I'm sure there has. But in this day and age, people like to bitch about anything. So I'm surprised there's not a whole petition stopping the deaths of little girls on The Walking Dead. Like, I like it because it shows a sense of realism. It doesn't matter who you are, if you're child, adult, or whatever, you're doomed to die anyways. But at least I'll give them, they have a type of class that you don't actually see them getting killed for the most part. Unless they become a walker, then we watch their heads get blown off or chopped off. No one's perfect on that. But did you notice that Carol and Tyrese went the wrong way on the train tracks?
Yep.
Yeah, I noticed that they were going backwards.
Yeah, now it makes you wonder, they're not going to Terminus now. So now where are they going?
Unless they're I don't know.
Maybe it was just it could have been like a TV error or an Easter egg or whatever, and they just, because I remember they would have to cross the zombie and they just kind of the other way. So I don't know. I'm sure that it's just a movie mistake is what I would call it, or a TV mistake, I guess would be now. But now it makes me think if they don't go to Terminus, where the hell are they going? Because we know the next 2 episodes they're going to try and get as many characters together in one spot. So I don't know. I was curious in how many people noticed that or not. So it looks like everyone noticed it, but Rainer. Got to pay attention to the show more often.
Oh, whatever.
Whatever. Too busy or nerd raging over other things.
Like what? What have I nerd raged about today?
Not today. Not today. But the day is still young, I guess I would say.
Yes, it is.
So, what's your predictions for tonight?
We know Daryl gets his ass kicked from the promos they've been showing
Yeah.
by that group. Or starts to get his ass kicked anyway.
Oh. I thought he was getting his ass kicked by runway models. That would suck. Tyra Banks beating the shit out of Daryl Dixon. No.
Doesn't even make sense.
You don't make sense. Coddling a freaking dog. Anyways, what do you think, Ray?
I don't know. I was looking going over the last week's trailer was Sergeant Abraham gonna be in it.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in it. They're gonna touch base on that. I just want to find out who that group that Daryl is with because they are absolutely mysterious. I don't remember them from the comics.
They could be the cannibals,
Yeah, they could be.
but then there's no Dale to be the tainted meat.
Yeah.
Oh, Daryl. The only person. No,
Daryl will not
Daryl. Sorry,
die.
Dale. Dale.
That's
Dale.
not why I dreamt of him last night. It was not a premonition that he was going to
No,
die.
in the comic book, Dale.
Are you talking about Dale or Daryl?
No, Dale.
Dale gets bit, and
Dale
the
gets
cannibals
bit,
start
eating him. And then as they're eating him, he's like, I hope you enjoy the meat because I'm tainted. I've been bit by a walker. Yeah. And then they all fucking lost their minds. Steak with a side of zombie.
Okay, you knew she said Daryl, that's why.
I meant to say Dale. Daryl does not exist in the comic world.
But he's their biggest seller, so yeah, Daryl's not going to die until the lunchboxes stop selling.
That won't be for a while, since that's the craze. Because like I was saying the other day at the Comic-Con, it's like you had the entire booth of Walking Dead. You had like 3 generic shirts, and everything's like Daryl.
Daryl died.
You would have been like, that would have been like the altar of Daryl for you. The light would have hit you, beamed down, the music would have overcame you. You probably would have dropped like $500 right there. Easily. I got you a nice hoodie from there. It was nice. Should have bought you the ears one though. She doesn't want, but she'd wear it anyways. She wants to be close to Daryl. She can. But that's anything else, Taryn? No, you're just gonna pet your dog there. Thanks for being a guest on the show today, Shermie. Thanks for throwing up on the floor and keeping your mother busy because. I don't know. Raider?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I want to find out who they are, but I don't know. I think that it'd be cool to, I don't know, follow up on Michonne and Rick and Carl, because we haven't seen them since episode 3.
I can't remember, because I always read so many different articles, but someone, like, some interview, they said that Rick suffers some bad brutality, and I don't know if it was before the end of this or the beginning of season 5, but I don't know. I've just had a bad feeling about Terminus since I first saw that.
I think
poster.
What scares me is that I think he's actually going to lose his hand because now he's dressed more like his character from the comic book. He's got the jacket, and you're like, oh god! But the governor chopped off his hand. Yeah. You don't have to worry about that. But
yeah, but they don't really play exactly.
No, they don't. But sometimes. It's starting to get the subtle hints that everyone's starting to look and starting to act like their comic book variation of them. It's like, I hope Carl doesn't get shot in the eye anytime soon because that was kind of intense to see in the comic book. Literally blew half his fucking face off.
He's still alive.
And he's still alive! And he wears an eye patch, governor's son.
Will he lose his vision of the mission?
God, the puns! No, honey, he's got his eye on things. He's fine.
Oh, you guys.
It's not just the spectators.
You know what? I want to be like the governor. I want to wear Oreo over my... I was going to do that for Comic-Con once. Or be the governor. I'm just going to literally put fishing line through an Oreo cookie and just put it around my head. It looked like an Oreo.
It did.
I want
Oreos.
Oreos.
Made me hungry.
I want Oreos. That sounds like a good idea.
Oreos.
Oreos are good. Double dip. Alright. No, and was there like a love triangle thing they were going to do again?
Yeah, I think that was from just a
speculation.
Not credible site. Yeah.
I think Daryl Dixon is going to give his anaconda snake to someone soon. I hope it's not Carol.
I read an article. Well, there was that screenshot of the tracks. I don't know if you guys saw it.
But that looks very photoshopped.
The one where Daryl meets up with Carol?
Which is his back with the wing vest on. It looks very photoshopped. That'd be nice. No, they were going to do a bunch of different angles. I'm just hoping that Daryl Dixon doesn't actually... Carol, no. But was there supposed to be like a Maggie thing?
No, I don't think the website's credible, but I read an article that they were thinking the storyline between Glenn and Maggie's going to start going stale, so they were going to try and like do a love triangle with Daryl, but I don't think that's credible.
I don't know how that storyline's going stale right now. Stale in what regards? Stale as in they're trying to get to each other stale?
Just the whole love, like, once they get to each other, then what?
Because she's going to get knocked up and then become Lori version 2.0.
Except at least you know who the father is.
Well, will you?
Well, if it's Glenn.
And the kid comes out black, and then Tyrese has got a lot of talking to.
Or Bob. She's with Bob.
Yeah, Bob. I keep forgetting about Bob.
How do you forget about Bob? Bobbert.
Anything else, guys? Because I think that's it for me.
You got anything, Shermie?
She's too busy dancing.
Dance for me, puppet.
All right, Shermie, close the podcast.
Say something. Say chimichanga. No.
Chimichanga it is.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Thanks for listening to the Droids We're Looking For podcast. Stay tuned for next week's podcast.
Remember, the Force will be with you always.